Good evening and welcome to the 2019 Circles of Light Gala as we enter into the 20th anniversary of the United Religions Initiative. Tonight, we are graced with the presence of grassroots interfaith peace builders, policy experts, religious leaders, and representatives from the United Nations and many other organizations, all coming together under a single-minded focus of promoting cooperation amongst all people and building a culture of justice and healing. Tonight is also indeed a very special night as we celebrate the Honorable Secretary of State George P. Shultz and Dame Charlotte Maillard Schultz. Two people who have dedicated their entire life to public service. I also want to sincerely thank each and every one of you who are here this evening. With your presence and support, the tireless work of those who strive to build bridges and repair the world can continue and thrive. Through your donations and belief in our cause, URI continues to enact change and have a clear impact on the future of peace in every local community across the globe. The United Religions Initiative is a global interfaith network whose mission is to bridge the divide between people of different backgrounds, cultures, and faiths. Just as the UN is not a nation, URI is not a religion. The objectives set forth by the Charter of URI are clear: empowering people worldwide to promote cooperation, end violence, create peace, enable justice, and heal the earth. What we know is that many of our contemporary wars are no longer interstate, but rather interest groups who create friction within countries. It is thus imperative to engage in dialogue that covers broader territory than cross-border conflict. In post-apartheid Africa, Mandela understood that power is derived from taking the high road through engagement and principled dialogue, and from the ability to instill these values to the broader population by enacting change at the grassroots level. Hence his mantra, unity in diversity. URI understands the importance of communities. In its almost 20 years of existence, it has engaged in grassroots interfaith effort which believes in the single-minded focus of cooperation amongst groups which are often ideological polar opposites. URI has led to significant changes in conflict-ridden states that are traditionally divided by belief and ways of life. And by building dialogue between stratified groups in times of peace, what we know and what we believe is that it can be a preventative tool against the rise of potential conflict in the future. This evening, I would like to introduce three key figures instrumental in the creation of URI. The URI Charter was signed in 2000 by Bishops William Swing and 6 other founding members, including Rita Semel and Heng Sure. As folklore has it now, Bishop Swing received a call, an invitation from the United Nations to coordinate an interfaith service in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the UN Charter's signing. He was tasked with bringing together all the religious leaders from across the globe. But as he spent time in that effort, he soon realized that it wasn't the leaders that were the key to fulfilling the Charter's objectives, but rather the grassroots people of all faiths. In his own words, Bishop Swing has said, "We assume that the world has enough religions, but we assume that the world doesn't have enough bridges between those religions to make the world better." So he needed a pathway, a bridge to foster belonging versus division. People coming together to solve real problems facing their communities and the world at large. Armed with this knowledge and understanding, the formation of URI Charter was then born. Today, with 21 offices, 109 countries, over 1,000 cooperation circles, and growing, URI is a testament to Bishop Swing's tenacity, but more importantly, his humanity. Speaking of humanity, Rita Semel is a person who has tirelessly committed herself to civil rights and interfaith cooperation. Following World War II, Rita joined the San Francisco Chronicle and covered the signing of the UN Charter, representing a new start for peace amongst nations. By the 1980s, Rita had been a longtime member of several organizations, including the Jewish Community Relations Council and San Francisco Council on Religion and Race. Observing injustice, war, and division, Rita was motivated to do her part in fixing the world, one step at a time. And is her mantra, Tikkun Olam, a phrase in Hebrew which means repair the world. Tikkun Olam has come to connote social action and the pursuit of social justice. In 1989, Rita helped create the San Francisco Interfaith Council, which has unified over 800 religious groups across the Bay Area. Rita, with good reason, is known as the matriarch of interfaith work in San Francisco. She has been instrumental in the development and growth of URI, serving as board chair and then as chair of the organization's Global Council of Trustees. Whereas many people are shaped by their backgrounds or faiths, others seek it out. In the case of Reverend Heng Sure, growing up in a Christian family in 1950s America could have provided a very straightforward path. But an encounter with a copy of a classic Buddhist scripture led to a deeper fascination with Chinese culture and Buddhism at large. Dharma Master Heng Sure undertook a 24-month pilgrimage during this time, which he observed total silence, and then also was ordained Buddhist monk in 1976. In addition to being a founding trustee of URI, the Reverend is now a senior disciple of the Xuanhua and current director of the Berkeley Buddhist Monastery. He founded a cooperation circle called Heart of Compassionate Eating to raise awareness of diabetes-related diseases and its cost to society. Heng Sure has been a tireless advocate for uniting people through his music, stories, and silence together. So, with much gratitude, I thank you for being here. It is also my honor to introduce three very important people who make URI what it is today. Please join me in welcoming Bishop William Swing, Rita Semel, and Dharma Master Heng Sure.
Thank you all for welcoming the three remnants, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. We were here, my goodness, 20 years ago on this campus. We had 200 people. We were just trying to work out a charter. We were $400,000 in debt, and we had people from all over the world. We became a community, and somebody said, now we have to have a feasibility study. And somebody said, forget the feasibility study. This isn't feasible. Let's just go do it. And that's exactly how it worked. So I've had a wonderful chance to work with Rita and Heng Sure, and Rita's coming on right now, and people will say a lot of things about her, and they're all true. But her father was in vaudeville. That's it, Rita.
He never lets me forget that. 20 years ago, I didn't need the walker. And 20 years ago, as we stood on the steps of Grace Cathedral after that memorable interfaith service, we said, we've got something going here, and we can't let it go. But never did we, in our wildest dreams, think about a picture like this, people from all over the world. Thank you so much for making URI what it is today.
Don't you see a scene like this every day?
So visualize an early Global Council meeting of the new, young URI at the city of 10,000 Buddhas in Ukiah, California, surrounded by peacocks and apple trees and grape orchards. And sitting on the deck of the guest building with Reverend Jack London, of blessed memory, singing songs, Rita walks by and says, does any one of you play a banjo? I said, I play at a banjo. And she said, well, I have a banjo that I've got from my daughter Jane. And she played it for 2 years, passed away, and has been in the closet for 25 years upside down. And I think it's time for that banjo to find new hands, she said. So we met at the Interfaith Center at the Presidio the following week, and I present to you Rita's daughter Jane's banjo. Your part, and the cameras are on, we will know if you don't sing. Goes like this. You are I. We are one. You know you can do that, right? We united, we become. You are I, we are one. Reunited, we become. Can you do that? Yep. Here we go. Try it. You are I. We are one. Sounds good. Reunited, we become. I'll tell you when to come in. If the religions of the world could sit for just 1 hour in harmony, what a peaceful, happy world that hour of harmony would bring. If the leaders of all faiths agreed to share their hearts in honesty, what a model for the world, their friendship and integrity. You are I, we are one. And when the children of the world agree to teach their elders harmony, what a joyful laughter in that lesson to humanity. When the people of the world agree to be the change they wish to see, what a peaceful, happy place this world of suffering could be. You are I, we are one. We united, we become. And I'm going to interrupt my own song to point out the lyrics of the next verse, given the talk that we had between the bishop and General Mattis. Joanne Shenandoah, the voice of Native America, some people would say, has a song about the peacemaker. She talks about how the warring nations formed the Iroquois Confederacy and buried all their weapons beneath the great white tree of peace, and they set an eagle on the top. When the eagle cries, they know that somebody has forgotten their vow to be peaceful. So the URI is very much that eagle, and we're on top of the white tree of peace here at Stanford. When the nations of the world agree to bury guns beneath the tree, what a blessed celebration the end of death by guns would bring. When the URI guides society to religious hospitality, happiness abides within that commonwealth of harmony. Last chance. You Thank you, Rita.
The only thing standing between us and food is one invocation. So would the folks doing the Interfaith Invocation please join me, and we'll do our semicircle right in front of the stage, actually. While they're coming up, I'm told that you need to flip your name tags from the colorful side to the other side so they can tell what meal you have magically. One of the beautiful things about being in URI is hearing. We're going to go, Maria, we're going to go right here in front of the stage. On this side, Maria, of the TV. Okay, so any direction is fine, and we'll. So, folks, we'll just go in the direction we're in. We'll start here and we'll go right down. Okay, so you have a job. You have one last job before we eat. Okay? The order doesn't matter. We'll just go right. Adiola, you're right here. I would like you each to imagine the face of someone you love. Hold that face in your mind's eye as you hear these words of blessing.
I am Father John Ngoma from Malawi, Africa. In my tradition, Christianity, I bring you happiness and kindness.
I am Vishwadev Chakravarti, Hindu from India, and from my traditions, I offer seva, which is service to the humanity and all living beings.
I'm Karen Barrenshea. I'm from South Africa, and I'm a spiritualist, and I bring you personal responsibility.
I'm Don Frew from Berkeley, California. I'm Wiccan, and I bring the blessings of the earth.
I am Doug Kahn, chair of the URI Foundation Board, and from my tradition, the Jewish tradition, I offer shalom, a sense of peace and wholeness.
I'm Bob Walter. I'm a follower of the Tao. From my tradition, I bring you harmony, balance, and the wisdom of the watercourse way.
I'm Radia from France. I'm Muslim, and from my tradition, I offer mercy and resilience.
I am Nushin from San Francisco. I am a Baha'i. From my tradition, I offer peace and unity.
I am Girish Shah, a Jain, and from my tradition, I offer ahimsa, or absolute nonviolence.
I'm Shada from San Jose. I'm a Zoroastrian, and for my tradition, I offer the fire of truth, Asha.
I'm Gia. I'm from San Francisco. I am a humanist, and from my tradition, I offer inclusivity.
I'm Adeola Farron. I'm the chair of the North America Leadership Council. I practice Yoruba tradition, and I wish you alafia, peace in inner introspection.
Hello, I'm Ratan Kochana from Kenya, and I'm a Sikh by tradition. I offer justice and oneness.
Hi, my name is Vincent. I'm from Malaysia. I'm a Buddhist, and from my tradition, I offer compassionate and the dignity of life.
We hold all of this in our hearts. This circle that we create of circles expands and touches circles around the world as we come together as one human family for this evening and for every day forward to bring peace, justice, and healing to our world. Have a wonderful first course of our meal, and we'll see you after dinner.